Okay, I'm back with the seventh video now, and where I try to create a third-person shooter with Unreal using C++. So with multiplayer as well. So last time at the end, it seemed like I had broken my uh, weapon firing in multiplayer, but I did a recompile, and that seems to have fixed the issue. So my client now properly fires. Let me just check with 3 real quick. Seems like it works, so that's good. So for whatever reason, a recompile fixed that. So at the end of the last episode, I had, right before I ran into that issue, I had made it to where when I shot this character here, I can see that my take damage event is 5, which means that my health is going down with every shot. But I don't have any sort of death implemented yet, so I want to see if I can implement that real quick. So I'm going to go into my character, and wow, why did I make all that public? I don't think that should all be public. I'm going to have to fix that, but for the moment, let me come in here and add a method, and this method signature is really long, so I've copied and pasted it from another project. Okay, that looks good. So this is the method that I'm going to hook into that delegate I created in the last episode. So let me go ahead and generate that. And let me fix this. There's no way that I meant for these to all be public. This should definitely not. This should definitely not be public. There we go. Let me compile that, make sure I haven't broken anything. Okay, so it's recompiled. I'm just gonna double check my blueprint to make sure nothing got reset. Let me see here. That's too far. Wow. Good grief. There we go. Inputs are still here. Yeah, so everything still seems in order. Okay. Okay, everything still seems to work. Okay. Not sure how those all ended up as public methods, what I was thinking there, but whatever, fixed now. So my on health changed method, I need to hook that up. So in my begin play, think before I hook up the context, I'm going to say on health changed dot add dynamic. And so that will hook up that delegate in my stats component to the method I just created. And where did that one go? Right here. So I want to make this character die. So I'm going to do this on the client first, just like I did. Just like I did with weapon firing. We'll make this work without multiplayer first. And then make it work with multiplayer. Okay, so when I die, I think what I'm going to do, I could get some animations and try to determine which direction, you know, he died from and all of that. But I think for now, I'm just going to try to ragdoll this guy. And so let me see what happens if I just set simulate physics to true. I think I need more than that probably. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, done compiling. Let's see what happens here. Oh, okay, he just fell right through the ground. That's definitely not what I want. Okay. Let me take a look here at some previous stuff I've done. I'm going to steal this straight from some other code. Interesting. Get capsule component. What doesn't it like there? Oh, right. Let's see what happens when I run this. Okay, so compiling finished on that. So let me see what happens now. There we go. However, like I said, that's probably not gonna work in multiplayer. Let's see what happens. Yep, so the client didn't see him Didn't see him die at all. And he doesn't see himself die either. Okay. So we're probably going to have to set up a server method and a multicast method here. Let me change this. You know what? Let me copy all of this. Get rid of this method for the moment. Create a server die method and put all that code in there. And I gotta be careful here. See, the autocomplete wanted to use the implementation method, but I found out last time obviously that is a problem, so I gotta watch out for the autocomplete hitting that method. So now let me let me go ahead and compile that just to check it. Okay, so that compiled. So I think this is still, I'm going to need a multicast, I'm pretty sure. Let me see what happens here. Yeah, the client did not see it, but if I do it from the client, the server saw it, but the client didn't. So, okay. So, I think what I want to do here is put that die method back in that I had. So this is going to call die. This die method is going to ragdoll the character and then call server die. And that will take care of the client that it happens on and the server. But then we need a multicast here. And in the multicast die, well, I don't like where I put that. Multicast die. I'll do the same thing. Now let me compile all of that. Okay, so that's compiled. The server and the client see the dummy fall. Let me check this with 3. And just make sure, actually, make sure that everybody sees it. And they do. All 3 windows see the dummy fall. So that is character death implemented and working. So now I need to think about animation. and I went and downloaded a ton of Mixamo rifle animations. I'm perfectly happy with the animation with the character when he's not holding a weapon. But when he's holding a weapon, or definitely when he's aiming, I want to have some strafe. I want to do a strafing motion, and I need to have certain animations that I don't have in order to pull that off. Unless I could do it the way the Lyra example does it, but I really want the Lyra example doesn't have an animation where the character is just holding the rifle and moving around with it. When the Lyra animation, when they're holding a rifle, they're always aiming, and so they don't have this sort of just hip motion. So I went and downloaded all these Mixamo animations, and I need to import them to see if I have everything that I want. So let me go to characters, animations, locomotion, rifle. I'm actually going to make a new folder in here called Mixamo that just has my imported Mixamo animations. So there's plenty of videos out there on how to download Mixamo animations and convert them to the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin, so I'm not going to bother with any of that. I'm just going to go ahead and import all of these animations that I grabbed so that I can look at them and see what they look like, and they're going to be pointed at sk_mannequin, which is the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin, because I've converted them outside of the program. So let me import those. Okay, so I think those are all imported now. Let's see what these look like. We've got root motion. See, that's, yeah, I don't really like that. Tell you what, how about first, how I want this to work, I think, is when you aim, I want to have a strafing motion. And so let me go ahead and start working on just getting the aiming going, and I'll go from there. So I need some input. I need an input action for aiming, so I'm going to do new input action. We'll call this I_aim. It's a Boolean, which is what I want, so I'll save that. And back in my context, I will add a mapping for that. I'm going to map it to my right mouse button. And in my character, I need to set up that action. So aim action, and then I'm going to have a started and completed on this one because I want it to aim for as long as I'm holding down the button. So we're going to do void aim started. And completed. Generate definitions for those. set them up in my input component. I'm just going to copy and paste my fire ones. Oops. Okay, so that's done. And I need to check something on my character here. My camera, what's my default? Okay, my default field of view is 90 degrees. So I'm going to create some properties in here. And I'm going to call them, let's see, we'll have float, normal, field of view, 90. I don't have any idea what a good field of view would be, but I'll just set 75 for now. And then I have my normal boom length. And let me see what I've got that set to. Oh, of course it's going to auto-save. Well, I'll just assume it was 300. And I'm going to make an aiming boom length. And I'll call that 150. Still auto-saving. I'm going to make all of these U properties so that I can set them from the blueprint. Okay. So when I aim, I want to do a bunch of things. First, we'll just deal with the boom length in the field of view. What is it called? The target arm length. There we go. When I stop aiming, we'll go back. For now, I'll just do that. Probably want to animate that at some point. But for now, just let it snap. Good grief. Oh, right, it's because I pulled in all those animations. Alright, well, go ahead and start compiling, and I'll pause and wait for all that to finish. Okay, my compiling's finished, my saving's finished. I do need to check to make sure my boom, yes, it's 300 by default. So I need to come back in here in my player character, and I need to hook up that input action that I created. So my aim action, and you can see all my default values in here. I'm going to leave that the way it is for now. I'm going to save, compile this blueprint, and run. And now if I click aim, I zoom in and my field of view. It doesn't really look like my field of view changes actually. But he still moves the same way, right? That's not what I want. What I want is for him to go into a strafing motion. So I'm going to set character, get the character movement component. I'm going to set, I think it's called orient rotation of movement equals false. And down here, I'm going to set it to true. And compile that. Okay, that's finished compiling. Now if I aim and I move, I stay looking forward. Now my animations are all kinds of broken, but that's okay for the moment. So I really only want to aim. Well, first of all, I need to let the other the server and the other clients know if I'm aiming. So I'm going to add a replicated property. And I need to remember to add that to my get lifetime replicated props. Okay, so that's taken care of. I only really want to aim if I have a weapon equipped. Doesn't really, I mean, I guess I can leave it if it's not equipped for, well, no, I only want to do this if I have an equipped weapon. And I want to set that aiming variable. Okay, let me just go ahead and compile that. Okay, that's done compiling. So let me just make sure. So now I can't aim because I don't have a rifle equipped. Now I have the rifle equipped and I can aim. And I stop aiming and I move normal, unequip, and also move normal. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to deal with these animations now, which I don't want to do, but I'm at the point where I sort of have to deal with it now. So let's see here. Let me load up my asset project. While it's loading up, there's one thing I know I'm going to have to do, which is I'm going to need my animation blueprint to know if I'm aiming or not. So I'm going to throw another variable in here. Okay, so I've got that, and then in my character, since my aiming property is private, I'm gonna throw another one of these getter method in here. Okay. Yep, and I'll pay attention to writer. It's telling both of them, telling me that I actually know what. I'm gonna ignore that for the moment. Okay, so I have that, and now in my anim instance, I need to grab it. Okay, there we go. I'll compile that. And while that's compiling, actually it may have problems because I've got two engine instances open, but we'll see. I'm going to take a look in here in my asset project, and what do we have for rifle? Okay, so we got walk left and right. But the jog left and right are not aiming. I can't really use that. So I'm gonna come in my animation blueprint here. I need to refamiliarize myself with this a little bit, how I did this. Okay. So my rifle, let me look at rifle locomotion. I think what I want is to have another blend space, a 2D blend space if I'm aiming. It's still compiling. So we'll give that a minute. Okay, so that's done. So let me look in here and make sure I can see my, yep, I can see my is aiming variable. Okay, so I think what I want is I want to have a different blend space run if I'm aiming. So let me create a 2D blend space. Call it rifle aiming walk run. Actually, I forgot I always prefix with my project name so that I can find my stuff in the. Okay, so I've got rifle walk run, now I've got white rifle aiming walk run. So if I take a look at this, maybe I can use the the Lyra animations for this. What do I get? So we have two axes here. The horizontal is going to be direction. It's going to be minus 180 to 180, and then the vertical is going to be speed. And we want to do, let's do negative, I don't know how fast the backwards walk is. I'm gonna just do 200 for now and positive 600. And I'm gonna snap to grid on all these. Now let's see what we have here. What is jog? What is actually rifle walk backward? What does that look like? There we go. So that's an aiming animation. Do I have a rifle? Do I have an idle? I have idle hip fire, which is not what I want. Oh, maybe it is. That actually looks okay. So how about walk forward? That looks fine. And I'm gonna put jog forward on here. The truth is, well, we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so I've got walk backward. You know what? I think I want to change this for now. Okay. So we got idle, got walk forward, got walk backward. I mean jog forward. So I want walk backward to be when I'm 180. And I want walk left, walk right. No, that's not where I want those. Walk backward. Walk backward. I don't think all the way across the bottom here. I want idle. So idle, 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 idle. Walk backwards, walk left, walk right, walk backwards, walk forwards. Now I need jog. I've got jog forward, I need jog left, jog right, and I need jog backward. Okay, so I have a blend space now. I don't know what all these errors are about. Hopefully they're not a problem, but we'll find out in a minute. So now I'm going to create a new state here and call it rifle aiming walk run. I'm going to transition to it. When aiming is true. I'm going to transition out of it. When aiming is not true. And I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hook up, I'm going to drop in my blend space, hook it up, and I'm going to get my speed. And I probably need to add direction. Okay, so I need to add direction to here. And leave what I want here. Maybe the animation library. Yes, okay. And I want the velocity, which is going to be this. And the rotation. So we're going to calculate the direction that my character is moving with that function right there. I'm going to compile this. Okay, so now that that's compiled, I should have, yep, there we go, a direction on my anim instance that I can grab. So now I'm passing that in. Let's go ahead and have a look at that. So I've got my weapon, I'm moving normally, now I'm aiming. Let me look down at my feet. Run left, run right, run backwards, run forwards. So there's going to be two directions here that are messed up. That one, if I move to the front and to the left at the same time, if I move back and to the right at the same time. I move forward and to the right, that works, and I move backward and to the left. I move forward and to the right, that animation works, and backward and to the left, that animation works. So it's really just back right and forward left. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab walk backwards. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to call it walk backwards. Which direction was it? I'm gonna have to run again. Backwards, right. So we got walk, backward right, and I'm gonna want jog backwards. Duplicate that one. Call it backward underscore right. Okay, so now if I take this guy, I think what I want to do is I want to rotate this guy. I want to rotate him 45 degrees. Okay. If I come in here, root, click on key, come down here, rotation, shift and click. That did not seem to work. Problem I have here is the information I have is for Unreal Engine 4, and this looks completely different. I feel like what I want is to edit. I want to be able to edit this value here. Which I'm guessing is this number right here. Okay. But I want my spine that's not it at all. Nope. There we go. No. Let's just see how it is like this. So backward right. So when I'm going to the right and backwards, I believe that was jog that I set up. Jog backward right. So when I'm jogging backwards, jog right, jog backward. I want another grid. So let's do 6. Jog backward right would go right here, I believe. Backward left still looks good. No, that doesn't look right at all. Okay. I think I'm gonna punt on that until I get more time to look at it. Okay, I think since this is already looks like 50 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here, and I'll leave that animation and the aiming for the next video. So any comments or questions, leave them below. Thanks, see you next time.